College football player Keith Absalon and his cousin Nolvin have been laid to rest a week after a bombing incident in Masbate City. Vice President Leni Robredo, who is now among the Isambayan bets in the 2022 polls, is calling for unity and exclusivity in the opposition. The Health Department reports over 7,300 fresh COVID-19 infections. The country's total caseload stands at above 1.3 million. A Filipino tennis player has made history after capturing the 2021 French Open girls doubles title with her Russian teammate. And one famous cat is known to have a cool superpower to predict the winning country in the European Football Championship. Focused and fearless, here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. FEU football player Keith Absalon and his cousin have been laid to rest. Family members have vowed to continue seeking justice for them. Jenny Dongwan has a story.
Justice for Keith and Nolvin. This was the message shown on everyone's shirts as they pay their last respect to FEU football player Keith Absalon and his cousin Nolvin. Security was tight outside the church. The family requested the presence of the army and the police for protection. Several Masbateño attended the mass to see Keith for the last time. They said they lost a great athlete and a pride of Masbate.
Tayo mga Masbateño ay ano na tayo, may kapayapaan. Dinaan lang kay Kit. Ano yung iba? Masakit ang ginawa nila.
Keith and Nolvin were killed while biking in Barangay Anas, Masbate City a week ago. Initial reports indicated that they died after sustaining wounds from a landmine explosion. But an autopsy report revealed that the Absalons also suffered gunshot wounds to their heads. The New People's Army took responsibility of the killing and apologized for the incident. But the armed forces said the Absalon family rejected the rebel group's apology. National Task Force to End Local Communist spokesperson Lieutenant General Antonio Parlade visited the family. He assured them that they will bring justice to Keith and Nolvin.
Para sa mga NPA, yung sinasabi niyo na investigation niyo, hindi namin inaasahan. Yung sinasabi niyo namin na i-turn over niyo ang mga salarin, palagay ko at sigurado ko hindi niyo gagawin yun. Kaya kami na lang ang magpupursige na makuha namin kayo kahit saan man kayo. Sa tulong nating sambayanan.
Parlade said they recorded 7 incidents of landmine explosion and shooting of civilians in Masbate just this year. All of this, he said, were caused by the NPA. Parlade urged the local government of Masbate to cooperate with them in eliminating NPA forces in the province. And if they refused,
kami ang magre-recommend sa taas para maging police, under police control itong Masbate para makagalaw ng gusto ang PNP at magawa yung dapat nilang gawin, including the military with the assistance of the military.
Parlade explained that the PNP will have more power in enforcing regulations in Masbate if it is under police control. He clarified that this is not a form of martial law, but it can help them catch NPA rebels in the province.
It's not a martial law, of course we know that, but there has to be a template that we can follow to make sure that the arm of justice catches up on these criminals.
The investigation into the death of the Absalon cousins is ongoing. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, we are One News.
Vice President Leni Robredo is calling on the Isambayan coalition to make spaces for other voices for a more unified opposition in the coming 2022 polls. Speaking on her weekly radio show, Robredo said the opposition cannot thrive without a genuine inclusivity. Her remarks came a day after the Isambayan announced its list of endorsed candidates for the 2022 national elections.
Yun yung aking rekomendasyon sa grupo na magbigay tayo ng espasyo. Hindi ito pwedeng sabihin na gusto ko ng unity pero gusto ko ikaw lang. Hindi yun ganun eh. Diba? May mga supporters na gano'n na ikaw lang o si ano lang. Other than you, wala na. Pero Kasi kung lahat ganun yung pag-isip, hindi tayo may unite.
Robredo also called on her supporters to understand the political situation going on in the country. She stressed that the situation goes beyond the control of President Duterte.
Nandito tayo sa sitwasyon na to, hindi dahil sa isang tao, hindi yun dahil kay Pangulo, pero dahil sa sitwasyon. Yung sitwasyon na umiiral, parang siya yung nag-give rise sa ganitong klaseng political situation. Kailangan natin yung intindihin.
Senator Panfilo Lacson is backing calls for increased police presence in the U.S. to prevent further incidents of Asian or anti-Asian hate crimes. Lacson noted that at least 14 hate incidents involving the Filipino community in the U.S. this year. The latest hate incident involved a Filipino diplomat in New York. Reports said she was verbally abused while aboard a train on her way to the Philippine Consulate General. The Asian community in the United States previously staged several protests calling for the stop of Asian hate. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Health Department reports over 7,300 new COVID-19 infections. The total caseload now stands at 1,300,000, in which almost 60,000 are still active. At least 137 individuals lost their battle against COVID-19 overnight, while 7,701 unfortunately survived the respiratory disease recently. Vaccinating children against COVID-19 remains a part of the debate due to limited clinical studies. Bloomberg's Catherine Gemmel answers some of the most asked questions about the matter in this video.
Hi, this is Catherine Gemmel. I'm a healthcare reporter at Bloomberg News in London. Earlier this week on our Instagram, we asked you guys to send in any questions you might have about young people and vaccines, and we received so many, so thank you so much for that. Obviously, it's really important to state that the vaccine rollout differs from country to country. So we kind of brought together a more broad spectrum of questions that you guys had. Here's what you wanted to know. If young people are low risk, why do they even need a COVID-19 vaccine? Although COVID-19 symptoms are generally milder in young people can still suffer complications from this disease. Another reason why young people are being asked to get the vaccine is so that they can't transmit that virus themselves and so that they can protect the communities and their families that they're in. Which vaccines are effective in young people and when will they become available to under 18s? Just recently, Moderna released the results of its trial that found that their vaccine was effective in those ages 12 to 17. So the next step there is that they give this data to regulators in hope that these age groups can be vaccinated with the Moderna vaccine. The US, the European Medicines Agency and UK regulators have all now approved the Pfizer vaccine for teenagers with the hope of vaccinating babies as young as 6 months old. Are vaccines safe for children in general? So yes, vaccines are safe for use in kids and young people in general. And this is the same whether it's a COVID-19 vaccine or any other early years inoculations that might be offered to children. However, the US CDC does say that some kids require special vaccination needs, and if this is the case of your child, that you work with your doctor to ensure that those needs are being met. What are the side effects and what if kids can't cope with them? So any vaccine can cause side effects, and as we already know from those who have already had the COVID-19 vaccine, you can get some mild side effects from this. So this can range from a sore arm to feeling fatigue or just feeling a little bit unwell. But these do normally subside within a few days. Pfizer has reported that the side effects that adults experience with the COVID-19 vaccine are the exact same as those experienced by children. And the US CDC has urged parents to remember that although there are some side effects associated with COVID-19 vaccines, the risks of not being vaccinated at all are also there. Does the vaccine impact the reproductive system or lead to infertility? So we actually had quite a few of you guys ask this question, and according to the British Medical Journal, there's, quote, absolutely no evidence that the COVID-19 vaccine can impact the fertility of male or females. And this was citing an Association of Reproduction and Clinical Scientists and the British Fertility Society. The BMJ also said that it was worried about what they called blatant misinformation on this subject that was going around social media. So that's all for now, here from a very young people filled St Paul's. For more reports on the vaccines and the pandemic, follow at QuickTake.
Now here are some of the sports stories we're keeping our eyes on. Tab Baldwin returns as the head coach of Gilas Pilipinas in the coming window of the 2021 FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. The Sabang Basketball ng Pilipinas announced that Baldwin will also be the head tactician during the Olympic qualifying tournament. Gilas will face South Korea twice on June 16 and 20 and will take on Indonesia on the 19th. Eala has made Filipino tennis history after capturing the 2021 French Open girls doubles title with Russia's Oksana Selekmeteva. The Filipino-Russian duo completed the magical clay run without dropping a single set on the day the Philippines celebrated its 123rd Independence Day. Eala, the ITF Juniors number 3, added the Roland Garros Trophy to her growing Juniors Grand Slam collection. And in the NBA, the Los Angeles Clippers, led by Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, doused the streaking Utah Jazz in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals 134-104. Looking to avoid a 0-3 hole, Leonard and George connived for 65 points to snap the Jazz playoff win streak at 6 games. The Clippers will look to even the series when they clash anew on Tuesday. Now, your cat may surely do some fun tricks, but can your pet predict which team is going to win the Euro 2020? Football fans are now waiting for the forecast of Achilles, the psychic cat. This cat from St. Petersburg in Russia recently proved its psychic powers. Achilles predicted Italy's win over Turkey in Euro's 2020 opening match and the recent victory of Belgium versus Russia. Belgium started their Euro 2020 campaign strong after outwitting Russia 3-0. Now, for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.